We are in for an incredible treat. Do faith and science go together? What about prayer and education? Can those be combined? Oh, yes. And when they do, they produce the leading school in the nation. Welcome to Transformation Through Innovation. Welcome to the transformation story of Valley Christian Schools.
This is my school. It's not just a place of learning. It's a place of exploration, creativity, innovation, and discovery. Every time I lift my eyes and look down the track, I have the chance to run, to dream, to be my best. And this is what God made me for.
The moment I walk into the conservatory, I can feel the music. It's everywhere. It feeds my soul. This is my act of worship.
Every day, as students step onto the campus of Valley Christian Schools, they embark on a quest for excellence, and their search has been greatly rewarded. These accolades are a tribute to Valley's commitment to excellence. Valley Christian Schools prepare students for extraordinary achievements, restoring respect for Christ in the marketplace of creativity and ideas.
The DNA of Valley Christian School student is first and foremost to learn to love the Lord their God with all their heart, mind, soul, and strength.
Founded 50 years ago, Valley Christian Schools was built on a foundation of prayer that was anchored in the Scriptures and focused on God.
Our group has been praying since 1991, and we will not stop praying until He tells us to.
Prayer is absolutely the bedrock of Valley Christian, and that is true from the board on down to the maintenance staff.
And we have a group called Prayer Intercessors, and we frequently invite them to join us, not only at the board, but for a lot of our special occasions, because we feel that's just so fundamental and foundational.
Whilst most classes start or end with prayer, these prayers are not motivated by grade requirements, but by a desire to change the spiritual climate of the school. These students believe that God has called them to be ministers on their campus.
I believe as a young student at Valley, I can change the spiritual climate.
I think God has placed me at Valley for a reason, to be a blessing here and to influence others to turn to God with their problems.
Students are eager to find creative ways to bless their classmates and will gather in the halls to pray for their friends or take time during a lunch break to wait on God.
Prayer is a huge influence in the school. When parents, when they come in for an interview, I sometimes tell them, I wish sometimes you could just be in the teacher devotions that we hold in the morning to hear the hearts of these teachers about their students.
Valley Christian Schools is grounded in a philosophy of education that is rooted in biblical truth. Students are expected to probe the nature of truth and to apply it in their personal quest for excellence.
The quest for excellence at Valley Christian Schools really doesn't start in the high school or the junior high, but the quest starts in the elementary school.
As we began the quest for excellence, it became apparent that there were three main pillars that we could really found the school upon. And of course, the most important foundation are the things of God, the Word of God, prayer. However, on that foundation comes academic achievement, artistic beauty, and athletic distinction.
Excellence brings influence, and we believe that if we equip our students with the skills to become great musicians and great filmmakers, great dancers and actors, that they will be able to go out into this world and positively impact the world for the cause of Christ.
Valley Christian Schools holds firmly to the belief that every student has a sacred value and should not be isolated from the world, but prepared to transform the culture. This can only be achieved as they develop their God-given talent to achieve their unique purpose. Believing that excellence will bring influence, Valley has developed programs that go beyond the normal high school curriculum. The MC Science program has fueled the flame for the love of learning.
AMZ stands for Applied Math, Science, and Engineering. It involves awesome AP courses in science, math, and technology.
The ISS program stands for the International Space Station program, and in this program there's 40 high school students, including me, and we got together and we built something called a Cube Lab.
This is a prototype that we used in the beginning to design and think about how we were going to grow plants in space.
Even though we are still only high school students, the next big step is that we will be launching a satellite from the International Space Station.
This can be the energizer that allows the student to see something the student would never have seen before.
NASA's interested in this because we are the only high school to ever get an experiment aboard the space station. In fact, this is the one that was launched this last year.
Because like one night, me and my friend stayed out and watched it, and I said, something of mine was on that, and it's just so breathtaking.
From inspiring tomorrow's astronauts to providing opportunities in robotics and creative design, Valley Christian Schools have made learning relevant to a generation of young innovators who are passionate about the sciences. The MC program has demonstrated that given a nurturing environment, supported by motivated educators, gifted students will soon excel.
The question was whether or not this is overkill in a high school setting. It all depends on whether we believe that students can learn at a deeper level. And I've discovered that students will learn whatever we give them the opportunity to study. And the achievement is determined by the challenge.
One of the blessings of being at this school and having administrators that also love the Lord is that the administrators really value the pieces of God and science together. God is the creator of all. He is the ultimate scientist. So for us to be able to do research and to explore and delve deeper into the world of God's mind is an incredible thing.
Allowing students to discover the creativity of God gives birth to true excellence and innovation.
So when I reflect on the students here at Valley Christian Schools and the passion we have to connect their God-given talent with opportunities and the facilities and connecting them up with the teachers, it just blows my mind. I think in the end, truly, the sky is not the limit.
Discovering the individual passion and gifting of every student is the goal of Valley educators. These gifts are then tuned and sharpened until every young man and woman is prepared to become a person of influence.
We've come to a point now to where we are attracting students here onto our campus because of our arts programs that wouldn't come here necessarily for the spiritual atmosphere, but they come here for the arts, and then they are exposed to the story of God's redemptive power, and it is transforming their lives.
Valley Christian Schools use athletic distinction as a means of developing both the skill and character of their students.
Well, in our athletic program, we like to share the gospel message through words and actions with everybody we come in contact with.
Valley Christian Schools demonstrate a seamless integration of technology and learning. Every classroom is equipped with state-of-the-art computers, studios, and a real-life opportunity for learning.
Good morning, Valley Christian. This is your daily news.
From junior high, students are exposed to industry-standard technology, not only for the sciences, but also the arts and digital communication.
Right now, I'm creating blend shapes for my character, which is pretty much all the facial expressions that the character will do.
Faculty are eager to embrace the technology, but are quick to acknowledge its subordinate role in the educational process.
Technology doesn't drive the curriculum. The curriculum dictates what we need in the way of technology.
Every teacher at Valley is a role model for teaching excellence and Christ-filled character.
When we're looking at bringing in quality educators, we're looking at a double-edged sword. Someone who's on fire and sharp for Christ, but yet also an expert in their field.
While continually striving for academic excellence, Valley acknowledges that their goal is higher than a grade sheet filled with straight A's.
High marks are very important, but not nearly enough. We're looking for a well-rounded student.
Valley dignifies each child's life and how they also believe the parents are the primary educators. And I think just those general concepts, valuing those principles and carrying them out in addition to praying through every decision are very life-giving.
Firmly believing that God has called the Valley Christian Schools to change the spiritual climate of their school and to be a blessing of those less fortunate, Valley students leave the comfort of their beautiful campus and travel by bus to a nearby community. For years, this school campus has faced economic and academic challenges. But as Valley students fellowship with these students and meet their felt needs, they are clearly demonstrating the love of God. This is prayer evangelism in action.
A lot of our students come from difficult backgrounds and economic backgrounds and things like that. And so a lot of times they don't have a lot of opportunities that are out there for a lot of students.
We're at Hellier Elementary School. We come here once a week and we are trying to give the kids something to do in the afternoon to help enrich their lives.
It makes me happy to know that they're learning something that I love so much.
Well, it's really more than a class to me because I really like seeing the children smile when they have fun and stuff like that.
I believe Valley students played a significant role in the achievement of our students over the years that I've been here. Not only with the mentoring and tutoring, but also just giving them that support they need. So it's been a fantastic partnership, and we believe they played a significant role in that achievement of our kids.
This is a two-way street. In fact, we hire a bus to transport our students over here, but I think there's a lot more riding back on the bus than that comes over on the bus.
This little light of mine, oh, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
We are 10 seconds.
With a commitment to bless their community and to build relationships, Valley built their school swimming pool with a clear intention to share this facility with the entire community and not just the students.
This pool was designed to have an outreach to the entire community. So everything from beginning to swim programs for babies, all the way to master swim programs for people that just want to keep in good shape, and they can join our program.
Not only do we care about what happens on this campus, but we want this campus to impact others, and one of them is the India project that we have that Claire Carlson has just played an intricate role in building up the knowledge on this campus of what's needed over there.
I just feel like doing the Grace Operation has been so extraordinary because it's made me feel like I really can do something even if I'm not perfect.
Valley students will partner with this school in India. They have purchased the land, helped to build a school, and are now working at providing teachers and resources so that these children can grow and receive life-giving education. Walking the corridors of Valley Christian Schools, attending a chapel, or watching a rehearsal, it would seem as though every child has become empowered to fulfill their God-given destiny. But is this opportunity only for an elite few?
We are open to all students. We are an evangelical school. So our hope, of course, is that every student would come to have a relationship with Jesus Christ. But it's not a requirement, it's simply an offer. And we are hoping that they will be won by the love that we show and by the truth that they experience here.
There is no doubt that excellence brings influence. And this is an outstanding example of a school determined to establish a beachhead in the realm of education and learning, where all are dedicated to reclaiming education for Christ by providing outstanding facilities and education. Their dream of influence goes beyond their community to the state and the whole world.
When you look at transformation, I'm looking at government, business, and education. I think we here at Valley Christian take the education part of that seriously. I think too much is given, much is required, and we look forward to sharing that with other countries.
Recently, our board has re-invited, again, Chaplain Ed Silvoso to be helping lead our board as it relates to our spiritual growth and development.
Valley Christian Schools is the premier example of transformation through innovation. And the beautiful, powerful dimension is that Valley Christian Schools, even though it's Christians, is not limited to the Christian mindset, because the driving passion is to reclaim education for the glory of God.
Prayer is absolutely the bedrock.
And we will not stop praying until He tells us to.
Valley dignifies each child.
As a young student at Valley, I can change the spiritual climate.
It is true. At Valley Christian Schools, the sky is not the limit.
Fascinating, inspiring, isn't it? And you may wonder, how can I do it? 3 observations. Never forget that excellence produces influence. But there is an intermediate step, and it's that excellence must produce first success. And it's success that gives you the influence. Number 2, the real secret to Valley success is prayer. It's the prayers that go on at the board meeting, in management meetings, in the halls of the school, all over. And as long as Valley Christian is driven by prayer, Valley Christian will continue to be a leader in the field of education. And number 3, why should we reclaim education? Very simple. Number 1, because God's first role in the Bible was that of an educator. He came in the cool of the afternoon every day to teach his children, and he was the greatest teacher. And then before Jesus went back to heaven, he told his disciples, go and disciple nations by doing what? Teaching them. So we must reclaim it. So get ready now. Look at your school differently and come tomorrow, step on campus and declare the kingdom of God has come and I'm reclaiming education for the glory of God. Go and do it.